Hello there, boys and girls. Doofus Dingle here, mega genius. You know, I brought you some news about Comet Ison. Well, now they're saying that the pictures that were used for data showing that there were companions was a fake. But then again, we've had those pictures of giants that show up, and pretty soon a university will step forward and say, oh, we photoshopped all that. That was a fake, not real. But we do know, don't we, from the good book in Genesis, that giants, literal giants, walked the earth, some as high as 25 to 40 feet tall? Yeah, big dudes they were, and hungry, according to the ancients. Yeah, they even liked to eat people. Anyway, you never quite know what the data's going to show, and that's one of the reasons you need to watch the skies, because as we approach things, we'll find out more and more, and of course, they can only cover stuff up so long, and then, of course, it has to be undone by, well, should we say, if you look up into the heavens and you see a great big red object out there, well, then it might dawn on you that the destroyer really was real, and that it's going to cause some major Earth changes, sort of, bad stuff. Anyway, there's another thing you better be watching out for. It's called the arrival. Yeah, you'll find that in the good book, too. These entities that are posing as extraterrestrials. Only problem is they are not extraterrestrials in the normal point of view that most people would think of as aliens who grew up on other planets and other atmospheres and other conditions, and therefore they would evolve differently and they would look different. Yeah, that's part of what the good book calls the strong delusion, that they are shapeshifters and put on any shape they want to deceive you. Well, we already know from TV and movies that the human race is really being set up for all of this deception. Only problem is these are not extraterrestrials coming from other star systems. They're interdimensional creatures. They're angels. Only problem is they are not good angels. They are evil angels, and they are here to deceive. They're here to destroy. If you want to destroy something or something like that, well, you pose as benevolent and good. Remember that TV series that Rod Serling did, the Twilight Zone, and remember the one where let me see, how did that go? Let me think about that. But it said something about to serve man, I think was the title of it, and at the end, this book that it said to serve man, they interpreted it and they found out that what it was a cookbook. But of course, by that time, it was too late. Yeah, you see, the aliens, so-called, are using the same technique that we did when we approached the people down there on Long Island and gave them some colorful beads in exchange for the whole land. Well, maybe now the aliens are using colorful lights. You don't let it deceive you. They're going to have all kinds of proof with them. They're going to be telling you that they created us, but that's not what the good book says. Yeah, the good book is really very, very plain that there is a creator who created time and space and energy and matter and spirit and life. Yeah, that he is the chief of all the creators, the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings. Yeah, anyway, most people don't believe that anymore because science has told them that Well, that's not true. It couldn't be true. It's just a book of old wives' tales, mythology, and it can't be trusted, of course. But then again, you might want to consider some of this. They're going to show up real soon. Don't forget Planet X, Nibiru, or Nibiru, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, remember the Sumerian project over there? They've built this huge embassy over there in Iraq. Makes you wonder why they would do something like that unless they expect an arrival. Yeah, they might be really thinking that the Sumerian were right, and where did they come from? Nobody seems to know. You know, the Book of the Ancients, all of the ancient books talk about an arrival, how these entities suddenly showed up in the heavens, came down here, and messed around with the DNA and genetics of mankind. Well, they're going to come back, according to Native American prophecies. You know, they're called the Star People. Unfortunately, however, they are not star people in that sense. They're fallen angels, but of course, mankind is not going to accept that. After all, we've advanced, science has proved, and, well, are no such things anymore. There's no demons, there's no fallen angels. Mankind's not a fallen creature. Makes you wonder, though, doesn't it? With all the wars and the rapes and the murders and the stealings and the theft and the corruption and all of the problems that are out there today, makes you think that maybe something there is wrong with the human race, that maybe they are a fallen creature. Maybe that's why they're so easily duped. Maybe that's why when they're born into a system that's really upside down, but they think it's right side up. Yeah, you might want to consider that planet Earth and the existence of our lives here, if you would search it out, that is, you might find out that things are not what they seem, that there's something really going on that's very, very strange. Yeah, that things are really upside down here, that we might even be living in a negative type of universe, but we think it's positive. We think everything is fine. You know, it's too bad that the human race just doesn't want to believe that there's a possibility even that they're a fallen creature in dire need of a redeemer. Anyway, this is Doofuss Dingle. Yeah, and I hope you have your denial tea there handy. Wouldn't want you to get those brain cells buzzing around so fast your head explodes. Yeah, you want to drink it and so you can sleep at night. Not be disturbed. It's not good to be disturbed. You need your sleep. Yeah, and don't forget, though, that the Creator said, bring all things to Him and not worry, because the rest of the world's going to look like it's gone into total chaos, when in reality there is no such thing as chaos at all. It only looks like chaos. Everything is under control. Always has been, always will be. Anyway, Doofuss Dingle here signing off. Be good, boys and girls. Keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open. Yeah, and remember, don't walk into a snare, because there is a snare out there. It's going to catch most of the human race. Don't let it catch you. Bye-bye now, boys and girls. Have a good day.